Now I know what you're thinking. Mise, what are you doing currently in the camera right now? Well, I wanted to try something new. It is also 1:30 in the morning, and I decided to make a video. I don't know why I decided to make a video, but I'm that bored and I can't sleep. So you know what? You get a video. This week's video is gonna be on Neo Yokio because I didn't do anything for Black History Month and I need to. So, I previously reviewed Neo Yokio about 2 years ago when it originally debuted, and if you all want my personal opinion on it, it's fucking shit. It's a really bad anime, and it's probably the lowest rated anime I have ever watched in my entire life. And when I mean lowest rated, I do not mean that the anime was the lowest rated in general that I've seen. No, I mean I gave it the lowest rating I've ever given any anime, which was a 0.5 out of 10. How to get to 0.5? Well, that's easy. Just because the music actually isn't that bad. Despite it, I'm pretty sure being royalty-free music. But I'm not one to judge. But I wanted to come back and talk about the anime because recently I had to watch it for a podcast, Dweebs and Weebs. And while we didn't talk much about it, there was something about it that kind of bothered me, that it dawned in my head, that made me realize exactly why I didn't really like this anime and why it made me didn't like it even more. And that is, Neo Yokio is probably one of the biggest missed opportunities in all of anime. Now I know that sounds really weird to say. It sounds really weird to say that Neo Yokio is one of the biggest misses of all of anime, and one of the biggest missed opportunities. But just sit there, do not go away. Let me kind of explain myself as to why I say that. Now, out of the four anime, none of them really talk about the black community or black issues or anything like that. Never Samurai is more of a cool aesthetic piece. Cannon Busters plays it safe in the line of anime for the most part. And like I said before, Boondocks is still debated or still in between being an anime and not being an anime. And the reason we're talking about Neo Yokio today is because Neo Yokio, in my opinion, had the best opportunity to talk about the black community. And honestly, the second part of this is also going to be the fact that Neo Yokio, underneath all the bullshit that it decides to spew, actually had a decent story if they decided to actually have a story. Like, take a look at Kaz Khan's whole situation. His ancestors were all people who got hired by the more rich. Just gonna close my window. Kaz Khan's ancestors were hired by the people of that world to go ahead and help them out during the Great War. They were given power and status, but at the same time, they were also seen as inferior. Now, with Kaz Khan being in the present day and him going against people like Arcangelo and trying to be the best bachelor, it would have been an actually interesting plot for them to talk about how even though he still has that status as a different person of that world, he's still seen as inferior in a lot of ways, with him maybe not being the best bachelor or him trying to maybe have to work a little bit harder in order to get his status. And under all of that, that could have worked. It would have been actually a great story, and the plot is all there for the story to go in that direction. But of course, if you've watched the show, you would know that they don't do that. It's all nonsensical, weird bullshit that honestly doesn't make sense in the end, and it's more of a flex rather than an actual story piece. And it does suck because if it did genuinely go down that direction, it would have been an interesting story. I would have liked it. I think a lot of people in the black community would have also liked it, but no, instead, it decided to go down the route of being weird, or at least trying to be weird, and being that anime that it's known for being weird, but instead of being weird, it's now known for being bad. Nice attempt, but you kind of failed on that one, buddy. The other thing that bothers me about this show so much is the fact that if it actually stayed with the whole ancestors and them being hired in the Great War and actually focusing on the fact that Kaz Khan does have powers and does do magical things, which I did genuinely forget about after going back. I forgot that this was actually supposed to be a magical show with magical things going on and him being a ghost hunter or a demon hunter and hunting down demons. That if they stuck with this and they went with the story that they talked about in the Christmas special, holy shit, that, like, the most of the Christmas special was fucking trash, but that last like 5 minutes of Kaz and his aunt confronting that demon that appears randomly, was legitimately interesting. This is also your warning now. I will be going into spoiler territory, so if you don't want to watch, just fast forward. I'll probably leave the timestamp or something like that. But if you do not want it to be spoiled, which I don't know why, this is not very good anime, just fast forward if you must. Basically, throughout this whole Christmas thing is pretty nonsensical. But there's that one point where Kaz actually finds out that his ancestors made a deal with demons and actually descend from demons, which is why he is able to use magic and able to have powers. Now, eventually, there's another demon that comes to confront him, which is assumed, or at least what I assume, to be like the big bad demon of old or something like that, that ends up taking the body of like some store clerk that's weirdly sort of kind of important to the whole Christmas special. I'm not going to get too into it though. But eventually, Kaz confronts him with his aunt, and his aunt is basically telling him that, you know, you need to do it. It doesn't matter. And you know what? I'll give the show this. It does have one of my favorite lines in any anime, where Kaz Khan asks why his aunt didn't tell him sooner about his ancestry and all that, and she literally tells him, because you're a pussy. I shit you not. That is a legit line in the show. Straight faced, no hesitation. She straight up calls him a pussy. And it's one of the best things that I think I've ever seen other than ghost stories. But seriously, the way they set up everything with the demon and before and all that, that was legitimately interesting. The fact that there is a demon out there that knows of his lineage, that knows what his ancestors did, and knows that they made their deal, comes back and decides to try to take over the world, or the fact that he's a demon and now he has to struggle with the morality of helping the demons because that's his ancestors technically, or fighting the demons for the greater good of the now, and what his ancestors made with the demon before. Like, it's more complex than you think. It is actually interesting, and they did not do shit with it. They put it at the end of a fucking Christmas special when that should have been the whole premise of the entire show. I'm telling you right now, if you made that show, if you made those 6 episodes, him doing that, the first 3 episodes, going ahead and him figuring out how to be a demon hunter or some shit like that, one of the episodes, him finding out, that episode being the clerk being possessed and him eventually having to confront that demon, that would have actually been a really cool 6-episode show. It would legitimately be cool. But no, y'all wanted to go ahead and make some trash shit. It also sucks too because I wish I didn't have to actually hate this anime. I wish that this anime was better so that more black people could actually have anime that more relates to them and more relates to their own struggles and relates to more of their situations. But instead, we have shit like Neo Yokio that does nothing if not hurt the fact that there should be more black anime. At the end of the day, I just think that Jaden Smith shouldn't work on anime. Even though I know he was just a voice actor, he obviously had very heavy influence in this. And you know what? If this is what he wants for an anime, I personally don't want it. Or if you're going to do that, at least go to the beyond weird, to the extremely super weird. Alright? You're working with a medium that comes from a country that makes super shit. That makes super weird shit. Like the weirdest shit. And this is the best that you could come up with in terms of being weird and out there and just quirky and stupid. That's your best shot. You make me disappointed, Jaden. You make me fucking disappointed. Now, I do need to at least talk about it, because with knowing Netflix, it could happen, and there's the potential of a second season for this show. Now, does the show deserve a second season? No. But if it does get a second season, will it be redeemed? Can it be redeemed? Is this show redeemable? And I'm going to be honest with you, I have no fucking clue. Like, I don't know if it's as big as a car crash as I'm letting on. Maybe I'm just really hurt over the fact that I was excited that there was going to be an anime with a black protagonist, and it turned out to be fucking trash. That's what hurts me, and that scarred me. So if it gets a second season, which I have no idea if it is, I don't think it's confirmed. I don't think they're going to, after the very negative reaction that the show did. But if it does get it, I don't know if it's redeemable. I personally say it wouldn't be. You would have to pull some some Full Metal Alchemist shit for you to sit there and be like, man, this show has redeemed itself. Because at that point, you have fallen that low. You have fallen that low, and you need to put yourself back up that high. That shot shitting you, you would have to put yourself up that fucking high in order for you to redeem yourself. I know. At this point, this video has just become me shitting on Neo Yokio, where in reality it's only supposed to be a 7-minute video. I'm not even trying to stretch for time. I'm just that genuinely angry that this is a thing and that this exists. I don't even mean to be that much of an asshole about it. It's just a thing I'm mad about. I feel so disappointed for shitting on somebody's product, but when you're something this bad, when you could have been something so good, it's so frustrating in so many ways, more than one. And now I'm sitting here shitting on someone on their work that they probably worked a lot on, that they probably had a lot of hard work put into, which honestly I can probably envision someone wanting to make this product and Jaden Smith coming in and just wanting to make it its own thing because daddy needs to buy me all the projects and I need to be influenced by all these projects. And I don't know, I feel bad. Neo Yokio was just a missed opportunity of a show. It could have been a lot of things. It could have been great. It could have been one of the most outstanding animes in the black community, but instead it's what I see as just a fucking blight and the reason why people will always bring up the fact that there won't be any real representatives for black anime and in the anime community, other than many Canbusters and Afro Samurai. And Boondocks, if we ever decide on whether that is an anime. And if it does become an anime, that would be the staple. But right now, it's just Afro Samurai and Canbusters, which aren't bad. But I don't know if I'd call those exceptional anime. But again, that's just my opinion. Anyways, that's gonna fucking do it for this video. I've already ragged on it enough. I need to end it here. If you want to check out any of my new videos, go ahead, click on that bad boy right there. I do trailer talks, I do reviews, I do all this type of stuff. If you want to check out any of the content that I make before it goes on YouTube, I do have a blog where I'm going to start writing them down, or at least write down my ideas before I actually record the videos, and all of those will be linked in the description. I also have a podcast, I have music, and all my social medias. Everything you want to know about me and my projects are going to be down below. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see you next time with this ghetto ass set I have. Peace.